Hello, this is Mike Fay with Calvin Castine, and we're at Northeastern Clinton Central School for junior varsity girls soccer action. This is the championship game of the tournament, opening tournament for the 1996 soccer season. Tonight's contest will be against the Plattsburgh Hornets in their away orange uniforms, orange and black, and the Northeastern Clinton Central School Cougars in their white shirts and maroon shorts. For the rosters, the visiting Hornets, number 1, Pam Howe, number 6, Lindsay Smith, number 8, Jenny Manabet, number 10, Holly Bordeaux, 11, Christy Hurd, 12, Colleen Dooley, 13, Jen Rowden, 16, Mayo Kabelit, 18, Keely Sullivan, 20, Rachel Kowalski, 21, Alexis Gaines, 23, Casey Latour, 24, Beth Rogers, 26, Libby Hyatt, 27, Sarah Davis, 28, Elaine McShaw, 29, Christina Coolidge, 30, Christy Kagan, 31, Allison Dowdley, 25, Miranda Lynch, 33, Nikki Barry, and in goal, Danielle Waldron. The Hornets are coached by Vicki McMillan and assisted by Chris LaRose. For Northeastern, number 2, Emily Favreau, number 1, Megan Casey, number 4, Ashley Walter, number 5, Ashley Birch, number 3, Katie Jeanette, number 7, Kristen Babby, 8, Alexandra Gerson, number 6, Lauren Cavanaugh, number 10, Margie Fay, 11, Brandy Sample, 12, Shauna Carden, 13, Brenda Bailey, 14, Amanda Clark, 15, Alicia Dunn, 16, Elsie LaFountain, Elise, I'm not sure, Elise, number 18, Jessica Poyer, number 20, Rachel Dutil, 21, Danielle Hicks, 22, Christy Favreau, 23, Debbie Trombley, 24, Steph Sample, 25, Mandy Dubuque, 26, Haley Desereau, 27, Nicole Tardif, and in goal, Chantel Carden. Cougars are coached by Rob Francis. Referees for this evening's contest, Randy Lozier and Steve Sullivan. Both these teams played the night before last in the opening contest. Plattsburgh soundly defeated, I can't remember who they soundly defeated, but they got here, NAC. They defeated NAC by, it was at least 3-0. And Northeastern was victorious against Peru, I believe. It was Beatmantown. I'm really off. I'm getting mixed up between the boys' tournament and the girls' tournament. And both teams here, the winner will be the champion. And right there, Northeastern scores. Northeastern scores. And that's Brandy Sample, unassisted. And the Lady Cougars draw first blood. Brandy Sample scoring with only 2 minutes and 3 seconds gone in the first half. As I was giving the introductions and trying to set up the game, the Lady Cougars draw first blood, and it's 1-0 Northeastern, and Plattsburgh's got its work cut out for them. Lady Cougars played a scrimmage game the other day against Seton and were victorious 4-1. They have a very good offensive squad and an extremely aggressive defensive squad, so they aim to do well this season. Dunn with the throw-in down for Sample, intercepted by the Hornets and cleared by Rogers. Rogers still maintains control, up for Manabet. Manabet has it deflected by Burtz. Burtz still under control to Sample. Sample has some room on the wing. Continues down the wing towards the flag. Crosses inside the 18, and Cougars are there. That's Ashley Walter and Ashley Burtz, but couldn't connect, and it's cleared by the Hornets. Kowalski up for Sullivan. Sullivan still controlling on the far side. Broken up, and the Cougars get it back. Up the wing, intended for Walter, and she can't control it. It's out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Hornets. Plattsburgh throw into Kowalski and cleared deep into the Hornets zone by Dunn. Clark has it taken away by the Hornets, number 27, Davis. and it's out of bounds, and Northeastern will throw it in. Up the wing, intercepted by the Hornets, and finally intercepted again by Sample. That's Steph Sample. Neither team able to control the ball for very long, but Hurd, Burtz, cleared to the near side, intended for Rogers, who gets there. Rogers controlling on the outside, has a wing breaking, puts a nice ball down into the corner for Manabeth, sorry. Inside the box, cleared out. Done. Clears out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Hornets. Big open space, and she throws the ball right to it. Intended for Kowalski. Kowalski takes it inside the 18. She'll get a shot from there. And a nice cross right in front of the goal mouth, but nobody there to take advantage. Northeastern defense guilty of watching. Somebody has to take the ball, and somebody has to take that wing that's coming in from the outside. That pass was just a step or two off. And the Lady Cougars have put the ball in play with a goal kick. Finally controlled on the far side by LaFountain. Broken up. Northeastern into the center for Burtz. Burtz back for control to LaFountain. LaFountain broken up nicely on the far side by Davis, who pushes it down the center, but it's cleared by the Lady Cougars. That's number 23, Debbie Tremblay, I believe, who cleared that for Northeastern. Tremblay is there again, but can't control. It's out of bounds, and the Hornets will throw it in again. There's 33:50 remaining in the first half. 1-0 Northeastern on an early goal by Brandy Sample. With only 2 minutes and 3 seconds gone in the game, Sample put the ball in the upper left-hand corner of the net. Blocked down, pass intended for Manabeth. To the 18, Cougars stood and watched. Everybody expected someone else to get it, and Manabeth got a shot off that was just wide. It'll be a goal kick for Northeastern. That's one thing that you will see in a young squad. It takes a while to get the communication and the coordination down, and many times you'll see a ball that'll fall in the middle of 2 or 3 or even 4 players, and they'll all look at each other, expect the other one to go get it, assuming the other one will go get it, when a simple communication would solve the whole problem. But these are young ladies that are going to give Northeastern a bright future in soccer. A corner kick for the Lady Hornets, rather, and that is Rogers who will take the corner. Inside the box, knocked down by LaFountain. She can't control, and the Hornets will get another one. Since the Northeastern goal, the Hornets have put continual pressure on Northeastern. And they want to finish this pressure off by putting a ball in the net, but Northeastern, at this point, not going to let them. Cleared up for Burtz. Burtz falls, can't control, and it's back in by Hurd. Burtz gets there, pushes it up for Walters. Walters gets by 2, but can't get by the last one. That's Elaine McShaw back on defense, and she clears it out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Cougars. Throw-in off Sarah Davis, and Northeastern will do it again. Another throw-in. Burtz can't get to it, and it's cleared by McShaw out of bounds, and Northeastern will throw it in again. Marching up the field on throw-ins. Bunching up in the center. Clark gives it to the new arrival. I can't see her number. And we'll get the Northeastern replacement in a second. Clark just wide. And with 31 minutes remaining in this first half, it'll be a goal kick for the Hornets. Hornets put the ball in play into the center. A nice play by Cabolet. No, Cabolet. Mejo Cabolet. If I butcher any names, as usual, I apologize in advance.
Catalytic converter?
We have the air? You don't want to say that. I apologize in advance if I butcher anybody's names, but...
Girl with the long hair for the Cougars, number 18.
Number 18, good, thank you. That's Jessica Poyer into the game for Northeastern. Just about the time I get all the names set and I feel comfortable, they make mass substitutions. And Desiro able to control and clear up the wing. A nice ball for Sample. Sample still controlling the cross. Up in the air. Burtz gets there, but it's taken in by Waldron. A nice play by Northeastern, and Waldron is there to stop it. Sample gets the throw in, but she can't control, and it goes to Rogers. Rogers guarded closely, but gets the ball up into the middle for Kowalski. Kowalski missed kicks, and Northeastern should be able to clear it. LaFountain up on the wing for Dunn. Taken back by Rogers. Dunn and Rogers collide, but Rogers still maintains control of the ball. Nice play, and she falls on top of it. And Dunn takes it to Sample. Sample with a quick give and go. Dunn back to Sample. Sample gets inside the 18. She'll get a shot from there, but a nice defensive play. A nice defensive play by Calabit. Cavalit. Oh, this is awful. A nice ball down in the wing by Rogers, intended for Manabet. Manabet guarded closely, and LaFountain able to clear. Nice ball up the wing. Picked up, Tremblay. All right. Now Sample. Sample still controlling. Passed into the center. Deflected by Cavalit. And a push called against Northeastern. I don't know if I would have blown that down. Northeastern was guilty of the infraction, but the Hornets with total control of the ball, with nobody within 20 yards of Rogers. Rogers. Kind of a break for Northeastern. Took the advantage away from Plattsburgh at that point. Down for Manabet. Manabet into the center, where Kowalski is there. Kowalski switches fields over to the far side, but it's intercepted by Poyer. And Poyer up the wing for Walter. Too far out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Plattsburgh. Hornets throwing in, it's intercepted by Poyer. Walter can't save it, it's out of bounds. And the Hornets will throw it in again. Intercepted by Burtz, who goes up the wing for Walter. Walter has a step, but Cavalit gets there to break up the play. And finally cleared out of bounds by Latour. Northeastern substitutions, Dubuque, Gerson, and Favreau into the game. And the Cougars on the far side with a throw-in to Walter. Walter goes up the wing, too far out of bounds. But it deflected off a Plattsburgh player, and the Lady Cougars still controlling. Clearing in attempt off the face of Kowalski. And it's finally out of bounds, and Northeastern will throw it in again. Lady Cougars playing with 4 defensemen. It's a good idea, gives you a little more defense, but if you're not careful, it opens up the center of the field, and if your halfbacks don't get back, that could give Plattsburgh a real good opportunity to control the ball in the center of the field. Kowalski with a through pass. Tremblay gets there, takes it to the outside, and can't control it. It's out of bounds. And the Hornets with a throw-in. 25-19 remaining in this first half. And Trombley could have let it go out of bounds, but she's there. So she had to make the decision. She clears it out, but the Hornets control. And the shot just wide. Last shot by Casey Latour. And it'll be a goal kick for the Lady Cougars. A nice goal kick into the center of the field. And taken down by Berry. And shot back in. Almost bouncing over the head of Chantel Cardin, but she was able to recover and make the save. Another punt out into the center of the field. Off the head of Berry. Picked up by Calbert. And the Hornets still controlling Dooley. Picked up by Trombley. Trombley up the wing. Walter couldn't get to it. And it's out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Lady Cougars. Throw-in attempt picked up by Walter. She's got some room on the outside. Pushes into the center for Burtz. Burtz waited just a step too long. She had it, but she couldn't get it over to the inside, and finally cleared by Rowden. Walter still on the outside with a cross. Through the fingers of the goalie. Northeastern with an excellent opportunity here, and over the side, the top of the corner. Waldron came out, tried to make the stop on that corner from Walter. It went through her fingertips, and there were 3 Northeastern players there, and they couldn't get the ball in the back of the net. The shot taken, but it just went high and wide right. And it'll be a goal kick for the Lady Hornets. A short kick just outside the 18, picked up by number 26, Hyatt, Libby Hyatt. Passes down the wing, but it's intercepted by Dutil. Dutil taken back by Berry, and a pass into the center cleared nicely by Trombley. Headed back in by number 21, Alexis Gaines, but she instinctively put her hand up, and the ball made contact with it, handball called. And Northeastern with an excellent opportunity here. Chipped inside the 18. Northeastern 4 players there. One open, one wide open on the outside, but you can't get it to her. Gerson chases. And it finally, no, it doesn't go out of bounds. It's saved by number 30, Kagan. Kagan into the center. And Trombley is there to clear. Back in for Coolidge. Trombley again clears. Dutil for Gerson. Gerson has a wing open on the outside, and it's finally cleared out of bounds by number 33, Nikki Berry. Be a throw-in for Northeastern. Gerson throws in for Dutil, but picked up by Burtz and finally cleared by McShaw. Out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in again for Northeastern. Northeastern needs to go right down the wing. Gerson goes into the center for Dutil. She can't control, and it's headed by Berry. Gerson takes it to the outside. She's got a wing. She needs to use the wing for a give and go. The wing, 22, Favreau. Can't get anywhere because of the Plattsburgh defense. That's one thing a player has to learn to identify and has to learn to see, that if they're surrounded by 3 defensemen, the center has got to be open. If the defense is flooding one side, if they switch fields, they're more than likely going to catch the defense out of position for an excellent opportunity on net. But of course, as we've said many times before, Trombley clears back into the Plattsburgh zone. As we've said many times before, it's a lot easier to play this game from up here than it is down there. A nice step up by number 24, Steph Sample. But it's cleared deep into Northeastern zone, out of bounds, and it'll be a Cougar throw-in. 20:45 remaining in this first half. 1-0 Northeastern. And after that early goal by Sample, it's been a lot of pressure by Plattsburgh, and in the last 5 minutes, back and forth, mostly in the center of the field. Some good opportunities by Northeastern on some missed plays by the Plattsburgh goalie, and a nice cross by Walter. but scoreless since that early goal. It'll be a throw-in for the Hornets, and a big space opened up in the center. Trombley gets there, clears up for Bailey. Brenda Bailey just into the game for Northeastern. Trombley again, a nice defensive play. Out of bounds, but she's called for the push, and it'll be a direct kick for the Hornets. Inside the 18, Trombley gets there, clears to the outside, but it's picked up by Davis. Davis can't control, and it'll be a throw-in for the Hornets. Trombley up the wing, intended for Favreau. Emily Favreau into the game from Northeastern. And the Hornets will throw it in again. Northeastern needs to clear this ball. And that's one thing I was saying about the defensive scheme of the Lady Cougars. With 4 defensemen back, there's nobody to clear it up to unless you get a real good boot and get it up to the wings. It leaves the center wide open. A missed kick, and it could be in the net. No, yes, no. Off the post. The Hornets can't get it in, and Northeastern dodges a bullet. Northeastern dodges a bullet right there. The Hornets with 2 good opportunities. The second one off the near post and bounced back out again. Northeastern able to control and take it out. Cardin went down, didn't get up right away, and the ref, Lozier, called timeout to make sure she was okay. Lady Cougars will put the ball in play with an indirect kick. Trombley kicked it too early. And we'll do it again. Trombley will do it again. Into the center for Sample. Sample gets it by 1, but can't get by the second Hornet defender. Christy Hurd clears it. Trombley is there. Pushes to the outside, but not hard enough to get it to the wing, and it's picked up by the Hornets. Sarah Davis. Davis controls down, but her pass intended for the outside wing, intercepted and cleared by Desereau. Desereau again clears up the wing for Favreau. She can't control it. It's out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Hornets. Down to 18 minutes. 18 minutes remaining in this first half. It's still 1-0 Northeastern, who just barely held on to that lead. Plattsburgh vying to tie this game up with 2 excellent opportunities that just wouldn't fall for them after a misplay at the 18 by the Lady Cougars. Trombley takes the ball to the outside, clears up and out of bounds off a Plattsburgh player, and it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Bailey. A short kick intercepted by the Hornets. Again, they're in by the 18, and it's finally cleared by Sample. Back into the 18 where Dubuque is there. Dubuque, a weak kick, intercepted by Coolidge. Coolidge zigs and zags, takes it inside, and Cardin comes out. And I don't know, might have been called right there for a push inside the box, but Ref Sullivan says no. Favreau with a nice move to get by one person, up through the wing to Sample. If Sample can get by one more, and she can't. A nice defensive play by Elaine McShaw, who calmly knocked the ball back to midfield. Back up for Sample, and McShaw is there again. Casey still trying to control. It's out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Hornets. Rogers with the throw-in down for Manabet, headed out by Dubuque, and the Hornets will do it again. It's one thing the Lady Cougars have to do on those plays. They get an opportunity. For the entire game so far, they've been allowing Plattsburgh to work their way down the field with throw-ins that the Cougars have had an opportunity to trap and control and have failed to do so. Casey taken back by Rogers. If you give this Hornet squad and too many chances, they're eventually going to put the ball in the net. A nice play to reverse fields, but there's nobody there to take advantage of it. Bailey has it taken away by Davis. Davis still controls inside the 18, passes across to a player, Rachel Kowalski, all alone. And instead of her taking the shot with the left foot, which would have been the ideal opportunity, she tried to do a little stutter step and pop the ball with her right foot, and it knocked it wide. And that's one thing that these tapes that Calvin provides on Channel 21, it's a definite plus for these players, because if you review these tapes as a player and see a little mistake like that, where a ball that's passed over perfectly for a left-footed shot, and you take that stutter step and try and take the shot with the right foot, it throws you completely off balance and could cost your team a goal. Handball called, and that was an unintentional handball. But the Hornets will put the ball in play with a direct kick up, taken by Clark, cleared deeper into the Cougar zone by Barry. Picked up by Davis. And Desiro clears the midfield. Back in by the Hornets. Trombley chips to the outside for Walter. Walter back for control, but nobody there, and the Hornets take it back again. Back up by Sample, Steph Sample. A nice head ball over for Burtz. Burtz has a player to the outside, a nice ball outside for Walter. And right here is where, from just about the same position, is where Northeastern had a great opportunity earlier, but the Hornet defense recovers. And there's a big gap in the center. And Plattsburgh will have an opportunity to control the ball. Passed up for Davis. Davis guarded by Clark. And passed through to the 18. Trombley should get there first. And passes outside for Dubuque. Dubuque has plenty of time to look up and see who she wants to pass it to. And she does, makes a nice play, but it's a flex off Rogers. Saved by Manabet. And Rogers back into the center. Hornets playing well. Lady Cougars are going to have to suck it up. This Hornets team almost tied this game up and went ahead. Northeastern dodging a bullet 3 times to maintain their 1-0 lead. But as I said, if you continue to let the Hornets operate freely around your own 18, they're eventually going to put the ball in the net. Miskicked by McShaw. Burtz gets there. She'll have a shot. It's deflected by Rogers. Rogers all over the place. Rogers is a left halfback, and she's playing all the way over in the center. Or she was a left halfback, unless she just flipped up for that last offensive thrust by Northeastern. Down to 12:30. 12 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this first half. Still 1-0 Northeastern, but the Hornets putting on the pressure. Walter with a pass over for Burtz. Burtz has Sample open on the outside. She'll get the ball to her. Sample has to make one more move. She does. She gets by just over the top of the net. Excellent opportunity. A nice play. Walter to Burtz to Sample. A nice opportunity for Northeastern that just failed to connect. And that's a situation that is a counterattack. Plattsburgh putting on a lot of pressure. Their halfbacks were way up. And in the span of 2 passes, Northeastern with a great opportunity at a goal. And a nice save off the shot by Walter. Danielle Waldron dove to her left to grab the ball before it went into the net. A nice shot by Ashley Walter. And Northeastern now putting some pressure on. A nice save by the Hornets. Misplayed by the Cougars, picked up again by Kowalski. She'll go in all alone. Trombley nicely gets back. Outstanding defensive play. Outstanding defensive play by Debbie Trombley, who made up for her mistake. She misplayed the ball up. It was spinning and it spun away from her. Picked up by Kowalski, who got the ball to the 18, and there's where she should have taken her shot. But she tried to take it in a couple of more steps, and a hustling, very, very good defensive play by Debbie Trombley to get back and put the ball out of bounds. Gave Plattsburgh a corner kick, but they would have had a great opportunity at a goal. Out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for Northeastern. So Northeastern again dodges a bullet. Northeastern makes some substitutions. I'll catch up with them in a couple of minutes, hopefully. Northeastern finally clears a nice ball by Dubuque up through the center. Nobody there to take advantage of it, but it momentarily takes the pressure off. Dubuque steps up nicely, gets the ball to Clark. Clark to the outside off Rogers, and Sample is there. She has no support, and a push from the back by Rogers. And Northeastern with an opportunity here. Sample needs to get up. Sample needs to get up and let Dubuque take the kick, and that's exactly what she's going to do. Right to the corner to Sample, and that's exactly what Dubuque does. Nice ball up for Sample. Now she needs to go up and help support. Sample with a cross. Bounces off Waldron, who almost gave up another goal, but she was able to recover. Now that's something that the Northeastern forwards are going to have to remember, that Waldron has been bobbling the ball for the entire game. And when it's passed in, they need to just charge right at the goalie. Of course, I don't mean make contact, but just go right in and make that goalie make the save. Put additional pressure on her. Hornet throw-in. Out of bounds. Off Nicole Tardif, and the Hornets will do it again. Plattsburgh throw-in. Picked up by the Cougars. Tremblay, long pass up, but McShaw is there to clear it back. Off Bordeaux. Taken back by the Cougars, and back in for Davis. Davis to the outside. Pass picked up by Sullivan. Sullivan unable to hold on to the ball, and it's out of bounds. And out of bounds again. Northeastern will throw it in. We're down to 7:35. 7:35 remaining in this first half. It's 1-0 Northeastern, but as I've said, they've dodged the bullet 3 times. And the Hornets could have very easily have put in 3 goals on the board. Into the center for Hicks. Hicks pushes it up. Sample after it's cleared by McShaw. Sample trying to get it before it goes out of bounds. 3 players collide, and Manabet comes away with the ball. Sample with a nice play to come back. And another nice move to get away from Manabet. A third nice move. Taken off the ball by Calabit and cleared by Hyatt. There was a whistle, and the girls stopped. And it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. LaFountain off the head of Kagan, deeper into the Hornet zone, and it's cleared up for Kowalowski. To the outside for Poyer. Poyer can't control, and it's back in by Bordeaux. Throw in for Northeastern, cleared back in by the Hornets. Clark gets there, can't control, taken back by Kowalowski, and now Dubuque clears to the far side off the foot of Sarah Davis, and it'll be a throw in for Northeastern. Kowalowski heads to midfield. Clark gets there but can't control. And a charge called against Northeastern with 5:11 remaining in this first half, and the Hornets will put the ball in play. Cabalet picked up by Tremblay inside the 18. Tremblay keeps going to the outside and finally clears up onto the wing. It's out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Off the back of Kagan, picked up nicely by the Cougars. Up for Favreau. Favreau tries to go into the center, and there's a play where the outside might have been a little bit better of a play. Poyer knocks it out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Hornets. Plattsburgh throw in over the head of Poyer. Trombley gets there and has to knock the ball out of bounds. Northeastern again not good in the communication department, allowing Plattsburgh to come right down the field when they have an opportunity to clear. And there goes Kowalski again, passing into the center. Shot, and Carden is there, and again Northeastern dodges the bullet. Defense guilty of standing around. Two defenders standing next to each other, and the ball came straight through to Alexis Gaines, who had an excellent shot that Carden had to stop. Kowalski again, a pass ahead, and Gaines fires wide. Northeastern defense has got to get it together. I guess they're lucky there's only 3 minutes left in this first half. They'll have the halftime, 10 minutes at halftime or so, to try and gather themselves together, because that's 3 straight defensive lapses. Trombley up on the wing, stopped by Gaines. Gaines again into the center, but it's cleared. Out of bounds by Steph Sample. Or rather, that's Haley Desereau. Trombley has it blocked by Gaines. Trombley still controls. This time it's blocked by Gaines out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. And the Lady Cougars trying to set up for a throw-in. And the clock is still running. They're waiting for something. I don't know what they're waiting for, but this is certainly to Northeastern's advantage. Under 2 minutes now. Rogers heads it right back in. Northeastern has got to, and a goal kick for the Lady Cougars. They've got to get their throw-ins. Don't loop the throw-in. If you can't out-throw the player, throw it down low and give your player an opportunity at least at a 50-50 ball. But the size, as tall as Rogers is, she can out-jump almost any of the Cougars on this side of the field. Headed into the center. Northeastern's got to get that ball out of there. Hornets putting on a lot of pressure, and it's finally cleared and pushed right back in by Cabolet. Boy, I'm having trouble with that name. Up for Walter. Walter gets by one. And it's cleared back in towards midfield, but it should be picked up by the Cougars. Out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. We're down to 51 seconds. 51 seconds remaining in this first half. And unless something really unusual happens, Northeastern will go into the halftime with at least this 1-0 lead. Walter into the center, but too soft, and picked up very easily by the Hornets. And as I was saying, anything unusual, Kowalski again picks up the ball and controls, knocked to the outside by LaFountain. LaFountain still trying to control, but it's blocked by Rogers, and Rogers into the center. We're down to 15 seconds. Northeastern has to maintain for another 15 seconds. Trombley clears up onto the wing for Poyer. Knocked back by Davis, and with 4 seconds left, Northeastern's 1-0 lead is safe. And we go into halftime with a 1-0 lead for Northeastern, and we'll be back in a few minutes for the second half. Second half underway, and I don't know what Rob Francis said to the Lady Cougars at halftime, but he had to tell them something about getting their defensive act together, because although they're leading 1-0, this game could certainly have been at least 3-1 Plattsburgh, possibly even 4-1 on some defensive lapses by the Lady Cougars. Plattsburgh throwing, Rogers on the far side to Manabet. Kowalski is there again, and it's pushed to the near side for Walter. Walter trying to control, pushes the ball up the wing for LaFountain. LaFountain crashed into by Calabit, but Cougars able to control. Calabit breaks it up in the center. And now Dunn down for Burtz. Burtz has a player in the center all alone, puts it outside to Sample, and it's finally cleared. Amanda Clark all alone in the center at the 18-yard line. The Cougars could not get the ball to her. And the Hornets goal kick picked up by Walter. Walter tries to cross, but it goes out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for the Hornets.
Come on, sir.
Hornets again with a goal kick, this time picked up by Sample. Sample tries to control, gets the ball down to the touchline, crosses right through the goal mouth, but nobody able to touch the ball before it goes out of bounds off LaFountain, and it'll be a throw-in for the Hornets. Out of bounds again, and Northeastern will throw it in. LaFountain. Walter. Partially cleared, dangerous play. I don't know if I agree with that. True, the foot was above the shoulder, but was it really dangerous? I don't know. The Northeastern player was behind her. Burtz can't control, and finally picked up by Waldron. Good opportunity by the Lady Cougars. Walter again, and has it cleared. And it'll be a corner kick for Northeastern. Sample will take this corner kick for the Lady Cougars. And it goes right through the goal mouth, and Northeastern can't take advantage of that one either. Two good opportunities by the Lady Cougars, and they couldn't take advantage of it. And a long pass up for Manabet. Manabet controls on the far side. Gets by one Cougar defender and finally cleared by Trombley. Punched right back in. Cardin has it bounce over her head, and she was lucky that that wasn't in front of the net. She was lucky that was out to the right side of the net because that bounced right over her head. Out on the far side, intended for Dunn. Rogers will get there first and lets it roll out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Hornets. And that should have been a foul throw. But it wasn't. Bounces over to the defenseman. Sample gets there but can't control it. Just tipped far enough away where she couldn't get it on the run. Sample able to come back for it. Pushed into the center. Chips straight up in the air. Burtz gets there and heads it, but it'll go out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for the Hornets. And the Hornets put the ball in play. Picked up by Sample. Sample controls on the inside. Burtz is there. Burtz with the shot, and Waldron again drops the ball, but is able to pick it up. Outlet to Davis. Davis into the center. Picked up by Kowalski, who missed kicks, and it'll go out of bounds, and Northeastern will get it at midfield. Will take the throw-in, but that's unusual. There was nobody to throw it to because Walter is the wing. Babby just into the game, pushes up for Walter, a nice pass. Walter gets by one, but Calabit is there to push her to the outside. Walter again regains control, and Calabit is there to kick it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Northeastern using their forwards to throw the ball in, trying to maintain their defensive structure, but I don't know, with nobody to throw it to. That center at the 18 is wide open. If somebody can just tip the ball just like that, but it was a Plattsburgh player and nobody there to take advantage of it. Nobody there to take advantage of it for Northeastern. And that's the problem with this four-man defense. There's no real center halfback to stay in that position right in the center of the field just outside the 18 to pick up those errant passes. There's plus and minuses on every situation that you set up for your game plan, whether you're going to go with 3 forwards or 4 forwards or 5 forwards or 3 defensemen or 2 with a sweeper or a stopper. Different pluses and minuses for both, but right there was a situation that if Northeastern had a center halfback that was playing at home, staying in the position, it would have been a definite plus because that ball came bouncing just outside the 18, exactly where the center halfback would have been stationed. Plattsburgh again with the pressure, picked up by Tremblay. She needs to clear it quickly. She's got just that, exactly what happened. Davis playing off, waiting for the clear, and it's right into the center, and Cardin picks it up. Again, Northeastern allowing the ball to come right through their goal mouth. Northeastern has to tighten up their defense, or this is going to be a long 31 minutes. Plattsburgh, I think, can smell it. They can smell that they're just a touch away from tying this game up, and even they could have been leading at this stage. A good opportunity for Northeastern off the face of one of the defenders. Sample gets there, and we'll see if Northeastern can take advantage of this opportunity. Sample into the outside of the box, but Rogers is right there to clear it. Take it to the outside. Sample still controlling. Takes it off Rogers. Sample goes to the inside. She'll get a shot from there. Chipped, and Waldron has it bounce off her fingertips. Again, Waldron unable to catch the ball and maintain control. And she dropped it out of bounds, and it'll be a corner kick for Northeastern. Sample strikes the ball, and Walter was cruising in to try and catch anything that might have deflected, but it went out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for the Hornets. 30 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in this game. In regulation time, I should say, because it's only 1-0 Northeastern, and Plattsburgh has been pushing and pushing and pushing to tie this game up. And as I said before, it's 1-0 Northeastern, but it could very easily be 3 or 4-1 Plattsburgh. Northeastern has dodged the bullets several times in the first and the second half. Burtz. A pass up intended for Sample off Rogers. Sample able to control. She pushes it back to Poyer. Poyer had time to dribble in, but decided to cross, and it was a weak cross cleared by the Hornets, headed by Burtz. At the 18, Walters and Burtz. Picked up and pushed to the outside by Dutil. Picked up by Walter. Babby is there, but in a nice defensive play to take the ball off Walter by number 27, Sarah Davis. Davis with the throw-in. Down the wing, it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Walter throws it into the center, and it gets by. Dutil is there just outside the 18. She miskicks on her attempt. Poyer is there. Off Rogers, and Rogers clears up the wing where it's picked up by Sample. Sample high into the Plattsburgh zone. Northeastern needs to try and get possession. Poyer back to Sample, but it's picked up by the Hornets, and it's a foot race. If you're going to pass the ball back for control, you've got to pass it. You can't just tap it, because that's exactly what happens. There's a difference of about 70 yards because of one pass back that's just a little too easy. It gives the defense an opportunity to take advantage of the ball. And Gaines, or rather Davis, with a shot, and offsides is called. Plattsburgh with another nice opportunity. I didn't see which player was offsides. But again, Northeastern dodges a bullet. Tremblay with a short kick. Nobody can get to it except the Hornets, and the Hornets push it right back in. Dutil passes out, but Rogers is right there. Northeastern not going to the ball. They're getting beat. They're getting beat to the ball, and Plattsburgh just unable to take advantage of their possessions. 27-27 remaining in this second half. Northeastern 1, the Hornets nothing. Short kick into the center. Kowalski tries to control, chips near side. Pass intended for, who is that? Coolidge. Pass intended for Coolidge, and it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Barry with the throw-in inside the box. Tremblay clears it, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Hornets again. Thrown in again, stopped by Tremblay, who clears out for Burtz. Burtz pushes up the wing for Favreau. Favreau gets by one. Plattsburgh has 3 defenders back. Walter. And the Cougars unable to take advantage of that opportunity. Plattsburgh defense solid in position. Kowalski passes back for control, but it's intercepted by Favreau. Favreau with a soft pass up for Christy Favreau. Intercepted by Calabit. She carries into the center. This is going to be a dangerous shot just outside the 18. She chips it in, and it's offside. She waited just a little too long. She had her players in position. If she chipped to the near side or reversed it to the far side, it would have been a much better play, but she waited. Her team anticipated she was going to take the shot earlier or pass it earlier, and were called offsides. Again, Barry picks up the direct kick. Cardin has to come out to make the stop, control the ball, and put it back in play. This time, Hurd picks the ball up for the Hornets. Intercepted by Dutil. Dutil up for Walter. Walter controls. They need to have somebody on the outside. A nice pass out for Bailey. Bailey needs to keep the ball on the outside, and she let it get too far in front of her. And it was cleared by Colleen Dooley, rather. Bailey, or Barry, rather. Into the center. Cardin comes out to make the stop. Out on the wing for Bailey. Bailey into the center for Burtz. Intercepted by Hurd. And kicked back in by the Hornets. Coolidge to the 18. Cardin comes out to make the stop. And you just get the feeling here that Plattsburgh is going to tie this game up. It's going to be hard for me to believe that Plattsburgh doesn't score unless Northeastern can tighten up the center of the field. Their defense has been playing well, but you can only expect your defense to do so much. The halfbacks have to control a little more of this game for the Lady Cougars. Down to 23-40 remaining in this second half.
Come on, Cougars!
Rogers throws it in down the wing. Trombley will get there first. And she lets the ball roll out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for the Lady Cougars. I'm confused. Timeout is called. I didn't know there was timeout in soccer. But anyway, timeout is called with 23:07 remaining in the second half. Northeastern 1, Plattsburgh nothing. Now I'll have to check it out and find out if this timeout is simply for JVs or if it's also the same thing for varsity. But I've never seen a timeout before in soccer, so. Anyway, Cougars controlling into the center for Walter. Walter has a player outside, pushes it up for Bailey, lots of room. Bailey needs to get by one, and she does. She needs to keep the ball to the outside, fill in the center, get a corner, get a cross. A weak cross attempt blocked by the Hornets and taken back out by Kagan. Kagan still controls up the wing for Trombley, who pushes it outside. Out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Hornets. Dutil can't control, and it's picked up by Davis. Davis through, but Trombley is there to stop it. Trombley pushes it up into the center. And that's why you try and keep the ball out of the center, because it's easier to clear it right back in. Cleared out by Dubuque. And a handball is called, and it'll be Plattsburgh's ball. Catalit puts the ball in play just outside the 18. Kowalowski's there but can't get the ball. Pushed to the outside, picked up by Howe. Cleared again by Northeastern, out of bounds. I think that is Steph Sample. Inside for Manabet. Manabet will get a shot off. It's blocked by Trombley. And Sample clears again, but Manabet gets it right back. Sample clears again. Rogers is right there. Northeastern's got to get it out. Rogers chips it through, but it's cleared by Northeastern. Back in by Davis. Trombley lets it roll out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for Northeastern. We're down to 20 minutes. 20 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Mass substitutions for the Lady Cougars. Chested down for control, but cleared by Sample, out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Hornets. Rogers down the wing off the head of Sample, out of bounds, and the Hornets will do it again. Kowalowski can't control. It's centered by Northeastern's own defense. Picked up by Casey, or rather Cavanaugh. Cavanaugh to the outside for Hicks. Hicks gets by one. Hicks still trying to control, pushed off. Handball should have been called and wasn't. But Northeastern, Cavanaugh pushes it ahead again for Hicks. Hicks inside the 18, and it's cleared out where it's picked up by Cavanaugh. Cavanaugh chips back in and cleared by McShaw into the center. Dubuque has it deflected by Davis. Picked up. Pushed down the wing, pass intended for number 25. And I don't have it. Yes, I do. Miranda Lynch, but it's too far. It's out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. 18:56 remaining in this second half. Northeastern needs to put some pressure on. Cleared by Dubuque. Up the wing for Hicks. Hicks loses control, and it's cleared by Dooley. Back into the center, Sample. Taken away by Kozlowski. Lynch, or rather Cavanaugh, up for Hicks. Hicks passes, it's deflected off Calabit, and Hicks picks it up again. Northeastern with an opportunity here, and that's another call that I don't think should have been made. The advantage taken away from Northeastern. Plattsburgh player was on the ground, 3 Northeastern players controlling the ball on their side, and that call was definitely beneficial to the Hornets, but it's payback. Push again called against the Hornets, just outside the 18. It'll be a direct kick for Northeastern, and Sample will take it. She should ask the ref to push those players back. She needs to get 10 yards. It's chipped high and into the net. And Sample, Brandy Sample, scores her second, unassisted, to give Northeastern a 2-0 lead. And Brandy Sample, at the 22-11 mark of the second half, gives Northeastern a 2-0 lead, and that is, it would appear to be anyway, a crushing goal against the Hornets. The Hornets playing so well after Northeastern's first goal. Sample scored at 2:03 of the first half. Plattsburgh playing so well, had an opportunity at least 4 goals, and just couldn't connect. And Northeastern back on their heels, and right in front of us, it was I said it was a bad call to take the advantage away from Northeastern and give it to the Hornets by calling that push. But the resulting play was a direct kick to the 18 where another push occurred, and just outside the 18, a direct kick for Brandy Sample, shot high and over the outstretched fingertips of Danielle Waldron into the net to give Northeastern their second goal, and Brandy Sample her second goal of the game. And Northeastern now with a 2-0 lead, and we're down to 16:51 remaining in this second half. And Northeastern has to keep the pressure up because the Hornets, although 2 goals is a pretty big deficit to come back from, the Hornets are quite capable, at least what we've seen. They haven't put any goals in the net, but they've had some great offensive opportunities. Favreau on the far side pushes into the center. Nobody there to take advantage. And there's Sample. Sample can't control, and a trip called against the Hornets. And the fans don't like that call. Calibet into the center for Hurd. Hurd passes up for Kowalski. Northeastern's got to clear it. And it's cleared by Sample. Taken back by the Hornets. Manabet on the outside. Sample again clears up the wing. Favreau all alone, a lot of room. Rogers hustling back to try and catch up to her. It's cleared and picked up again by Northeastern, but Rogers is there again. And trip goes against Northeastern. That was a legitimate trip. Rogers down. And the Hornets will put the ball in play. Just their side of midfield with 15:24 remaining in the second half. 2-0 Northeastern. Calibet to Manabet. Pass intended for Kowalski, but it's cleared by Tremblay. Passed up by Latour and cleared to midfield where Calibet pushes it back in to the Northeastern zone. Cleared out. Picked up by Dunn. Dunn falls, or that's not Dunn, that is LaFountain. Rogers. A nice play by LaFountain to get the ball away from Rogers, and she pushes it up the wing for Favreau. Favreau gets it by one, and then up for Sample onto the wing. She has to beat McShaw, but McShaw's there to clear it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Inside the 18, Burtz can't get there before it's cleared, and it's picked up by Dunn. Oh, that was tough, a tough play. I think that was Rogers that was tripped, and when she fell, the Northeastern player tried to kick it in and put the ball right in the ear of Rogers. But Beth Rogers okay, and the game resumes. Out of bounds, Northeastern will throw it in. We're down to 13:30. 13 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this second half. 2-0 Northeastern, and the pressure is now on the Hornets. They've got to try and put one in. You can't get two until you get one. Hornets have got to try and get one goal behind Carden and then work to tie this game up. And Northeastern, of course, needs to just keep the pressure on, keep the ball down this end to try and get that lucky third goal. Out of bounds, it'll be a throw-in for the Lady Cougars. Rogers. Canabet. Out of bounds, it'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Canabet. Back into the center, picked up. Canabet again clears it up, and it's cleared deep into Plattsburgh zone by Desereau, where it's picked up by Latour, and it'll go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Throw into Sample from Walder. Miskicked. Sample is there. Burtz is there. Dutil is there. Sample takes it back to the 18. Falls down and can't get the shot off, and it's finally cleared by number 26, Libby Hyatt. Manabet on the outside. Gets past two Northeastern players. Continues on the outside. She has to beat Tremblay, and she doesn't. Tremblay knocks the ball out of bounds off Manabet's foot, and it'll be Northeastern's throw-in. That's a nice play by Tremblay. Not only did she stop the offensive thrust, but she kicked the ball out of bounds off the other player, and Northeastern will maintain control. Nice throw-in down the wing. Gerson is in now. And Burtz pushes it further, and it's cleared out of bounds, and Northeastern will throw it in again. Sample, headed by Rogers. Now Dutil. Can't control. Canabet off Gerson, picked up by Burtz. Burt still controlling on the outside, pushes through. Burt's hustling, has it deflect off her, and Northeastern maintained control inside the 18, and then it was cleared. Rogers looks out of breath, couldn't catch up to it, and it was cleared deeper in by Sample. Sample. The Plattsburgh defense just opened up and let Sample walk straight through, but it's finally cleared. Picked up by Kavanaugh, cleared back in by Dubuque into the center. Ball gets by Hurd, and Northeastern's Gerson pushes it into the 18, but it's cleared by the Plattsburgh defense. Kavanaugh goes to the outside where it's picked up by Latour. And now Sullivan, stopped by Dubuque, out of bounds, and it'll be a Plattsburgh throw-in. We're down to 10 minutes. 10 minutes remaining in this second half. Northeastern 2, Plattsburgh nothing. Barry throws in for the Hornets, picked up by Dubuque, kicked into the center where Coolidge pushes it further into the center. Dutel is there. She pushes to the outside for Gerson. Gerson on the wing, has a little bit of room, pushes down the wing for Sample. A nice pass for Sample. Sample gets by one, gets by two. She goes into the 18, pushes through for Burtz, and offsides, I guess. I don't know. It's a lot easier reffing from up here. I'll tell you that right now. But it's offsides is when the ball is struck, not when the ball gets there. And it looked to me as though the ball was struck, but it deflected off a Plattsburgh player before the Northeastern players went behind the defense. So that's only, of course, my opinion from 100 yards away. So it doesn't mean very much. A long pass down. Cardin should get there and does. Makes for a little excitement, but a not very threatening play. Rogers controls. Gerson on defense, closely guarding. It's out of, no, it's not out of bounds. Rogers takes a long shot, and Cardin is right there. Cardin switches fields nicely to the near side for Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh has Walder, waits too long, and it's deflected by Barry. Finally cleared by Tremblay. Tremblay, definitely a tremendous effort tonight by Debbie Tremblay for Northeastern. She has really played well on defense. And there's Tremblay again to clear into the center for Dutil. Dutil pushes to the outside for Gerson. Rogers is there, but as I said earlier, Rogers looks like she's spent. She's trotting around the field as opposed to running, and with 7 minutes left, I think I'd sit her down, give her a couple minutes rest.
Her ears are ringing.
Her
ears are ringing.
Her ears are ringing? Wow. Earlier in the game, Rogers was very dominant on this side of the field in the first half anyway, and earlier in the second half, and appears now she's getting beat to the ball more often, so she's lost a step or a step and a half, and Northeastern's been able to take advantage of that. Into the center, Tremblay is there. Takes it to the outside and calmly clears it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Hornets. Under 7 minutes. There's 6:55 remaining in this second half. It's 2-0 Northeastern, and the pressure definitely on the Hornets. They would surely love to put a ball into the net right now to give themselves a little over 6 minutes to tie this game up. But it's cleared. And the Hornets again trying to control. Dutil pushes it to the outside. Hornets can't control, and it's out of bounds off Sarah Davis, and Northeastern will throw it in. Throw in down the wing, stopped by Rogers. And that was Shauna Cardin, I think. Yeah, Shauna Cardin got the ball by Rogers, picked up by Gerson, and it's out of bounds off Alexa Gaines. And Northeastern will throw it in. Gerson throws in to Clark. Clark goes inside and passes over the head of Bailey. Walter is there. A pass to the other side for Carney. Cardin still fighting for the ball. It goes out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for Northeastern. And with 5:27 remaining, Northeastern with the ability to just take their time for each throw-in and take their time to get off these corner kicks. Chew up as much time as they can. Burtz gets there, but it's out of bounds, and Northeastern will do it again. Outside the 18. And it's cleared, dumped back in on the wing by Steph Sample. Gerson should get there. She does, gets by Rogers. Rogers recovers, Gerson there again. Gerson still fighting, but can't get the ball any deeper into the Plattsburgh zone, and it's cleared. Debbie Tremblay is there. 2 Hornets right on her. She needs to clear it, and she does. Up on the wing to Gerson. Now Rogers is there. Rogers dribbles to the outside, still controlling down the wing. Rogers still controlling. Northeastern's got to challenge her. Rogers crosses, and Cardin is right there to make the stop. She dropped the ball, and the Plattsburgh player tried to take advantage of it, but Cardin able to pick it back up again. Plattsburgh player falls down, and it's picked up by Cardin. Shauna Cardin, and it's taken away from her, pushed into the center, chipped into the 18. Cardin comes out and makes the stop with Keely Sullivan right there. Walter. A nice play by Nikki Barry to head the ball right down to her own foot, and she pushes it just wide. Pass intended for Allison Dowdle. Northeastern puts the ball in play. Plattsburgh substitutions. They got their starters back in there. Chipped in. Cardin comes out and makes the stop, and there's another opportunity for the Hornets. Kicked out, picked up by Poirier. Now Walter gets by 1. She has Burtz in the center, takes it to the outside. She's got some speed. She still works to the outside. Clark and Burtz in the center. Passed right into Burtz. She's got a left-footed shot from there, and Waldron dives to her right to make the stop. A nice play. Nice play by Ashley Walter. Keep the ball to the outside and pass it at the last second to Burtz. Chipped back in by Poirier. Stopped and cleared by Gaines. Picked up by Kowalski. And there's Sample. Steph Sample there to stop and clear into the Plattsburgh zone. Picked up again by Kowalski. And Sample is there again to break the play up. Clark pushes it, but it's cleared. Bailey knocks it into Davis, and it goes deeper into Plattsburgh zone. Burtz comes away with the loose ball. Burtz passes to the outside, but it's picked up by the Hornet defense and cleared into the center. Clark comes back to steal the ball away off of Holly Bordeaux, but she's called for the trip. Clark controlled by the Hornets, passed in, and Cardin should get there first, and she lets it roll out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Cougars with 1:20, 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in the second half of this JV tournament championship. There's a trophy sitting right over there in that booth in the scorekeeper's booth that Northeastern appears that they'll get awarded the trophy at the end of this game. With 57 seconds remaining, it doesn't look likely that Plattsburgh is going to be able to come back with 2 goals, but we've seen stranger things happen on this field. Tremblay still steady on defense, clears up the wing for Babby. Babby keeps it going. Babby, a lot of hustle. And the Hornets push it back in with 38 seconds remaining. Manabet. And Desiree clears up the wing for Babby. Out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in with 25 seconds remaining. Hornets still not giving up. With that amount of time left, you would think all their defenders, all their fullbacks would be up on offense too, but they're keeping them back. Actually, at this point, it doesn't matter if you lose 2-0 or 3-0, so I'd have pulled those defenders up. And 6 seconds, and the Cougar bench calling off the time. 3, 2, 1, and there it is. Northeastern Clinton JV girls are the champions of this JV tournament, and they're happy. As you can see in the middle of the field, crowding around each other. A very exciting moment for this young JV squad to take the championship of their own tournament. And Plattsburgh, although they lost 2-0, they don't need to hang their heads. They played one heck of a game, and as I was saying, except for a couple of different plays where they just missed getting goals, it could have been, instead of 1-0 after the first half, it could have been 3-1 or 4-1 Plattsburgh. And in the second half, Brandy Sample scored to take the wind out of the Plattsburgh sails and give Northeastern that 2-0 victory. And for a quick recap, Brandy Sample, at the 2:03 mark, just 2 minutes and 3 seconds into the game, scored her first goal and gave Northeastern a 1-0 lead. And that's the way it stayed until the 22:11 mark of the second half. Brandy Sample, with a direct kick just outside the 18, pushed the ball over top into the top part of the net over the outstretched fingers of Danielle Waldron, and to give Northeastern a 2-0 lead. And that's the way it ended. Northeastern 2, Plattsburgh 0. That's the way it was this 29th day of August, 1996, at Northeastern Clinton Central School. The Lady Cougars, champions of the Northeastern Junior Varsity Girls Tournament.